Welcome back to Everything But the Lesson Plan, the podcast where we talk about everything educators carry beyond the lesson plan. Today's episode is personal, it's powerful, and honestly, it's necessary. We are talking about silent stress, the kind that doesn't show up on your evaluation, but shows up in your body, the kind that builds quietly between grading papers, managing behavior, supporting students in crisis, and answering emails at 10:30 at night. And today we're asking the hard question, what is all of this doing to our blood pressure? I'm joined by medical specialist Eric Whiteside to help us understand hypertension, why educators may be at risk, and what we can actually do about it. This is going to be our last episode for season 10. So I want to just thank you for allowing us to get here. I am actually recording it outside today. And so you probably hear the birds chirping and all of the outside noise. But I felt that this was appropriate for me to record this intro in a relaxed environment since we're about to be talking about stress. So enjoy, and thanks again for being a part of Everything But the Lesson Plan. Welcome to the show, Eric. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Now, this is our last show for season 10, and I think it's a very important topic. So I'm glad to have you on today to talk about it.
Thank you. Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Give me a little bit about your background. What is it that you do?
Ooh, what is it that I don't do is the question. That'd be easy. Um, Eric Whiteside, I'm a school teacher. I'm
hmm
certified to teach anything sixth grade up to high school if it's science, as well as healthcare. I own a both a profit and a nonprofit. Our profit is Whiteside Technical Solutions. We're a AHA or American Heart Association training site where we teach first aid CPR, then go to the medical aspect of BLS for basic life support. Then we
hmm
have advanced cardiac life support and pediatric advanced life support. Then we have a nonprofit, which is WTS Medical Institute. And for that one, we teach a little bit of allied health. Then I have my twin brother. He's a doctor in internal medicine. So in our Las Vegas location, we have Whiteside Technical Solutions Med Inc., and that is
hmm
our NAEMT or EMS curriculum where we teach a whole plethora of EMS curriculums.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I
You're
work part-time as
busy.
a paramedic and I'm also in the Army. This is year number 21. So I gave him about
Wow.
5, 6 more, no, 8 more years and I'm done. My knees not handling it no more,
Oh my goodness. You are busy. Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, you know what? I want to talk about this. I think is with the podcast, I always try to land someone who will talk about the health side of things and how we need to take care of ourselves as educators, because sometimes this can slip through the cracks, and it usually is something like an emergency that sends us off to the doctor, and then we've got to do all of these different things. But I want us to kind of get ahead of it with our conversation, where we're talking about stress and hypertension and all of that. So, what I really want us to start with is, what is hypertension? What is it?
So textbook, which one you want, the textbook or you want layman's term?
Um, see if you, I don't know,
I
whatever you think is best.
I give you both. So high blood pressure is basically everybody know is just means you're eating a lot of sodium or a lot of salt is in your diet, and then
Mhm.
the body cannot handle it, so the vessels actually expand under pressure, which they're not supposed to. So that's the gist of it. Just means too much sodium is in the diet and elevating it.
So, so
So
what I'm hearing you say is every time we get pizza delivered to the school, every
oh,
time we have a pizza party,
I plead
that's
the
a
fifth.
problem.
In all honesty, it's the southern thing because if you think about it, in the South, we actually season our food, but we
Mhm,
over season, which is the problem. And going back to our ancestors, we were never really educated on seasoning and how much we should use. Because if you
mhm.
think about it, you look at it, say two teaspoons of salt. Yeah, we're gonna put it in there till we actually taste it. So like, all right, this is good. So that's the problem that we're actually facing. You should have just enough, just the flavor, but you shouldn't be able to really taste the salt. But who wants to do that? I'm
And
doing
we
something.
probably have altered our taste buds a little bit because I remember it was a diet I did years ago where I had to cut back on the salt. And I
Hmm.
was like, this, I don't even taste anything. Like,
Yeah.
and so I had to retrain myself to cut back and understand that this is what it's supposed to taste like.
Yep. That's it. And it's so bland. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. I know. I used to do physique modeling, and I literally had to cut my diet down. And that's one of the things I had to remove was salt from my diet. And it
Hmm.
was horrible. I hated every moment of it. So it
Yeah.
was maybe 6 or 7 months of no salt in my diet. Yeah, nah.
Ooh, yeah, but I'm sure you'll get to share with us some alternatives to that. But let me
Yes.
start with something simple. When we go to the doctor and we hear our numbers, right? When we
Hmm.
hear 120 over 80, what does that actually mean? Because I'm sitting there and usually they'll be like, you got this over this, and I'm like, okay, if it's bad, they're gonna tell me, right? So I'm not asking any questions. I'm waiting for them to tell me. But what does it actually mean?
So 120 over 80 is the top number is what we call our systolic number. The bottom number is our diastolic. All it means is that top number is when that heart is contracting. When the heart is contracting and is pushing blood out into the vessels, that's our top number. So that number should be a little elevated, which makes sense. That's where a textbook is around 120. That bottom
Mhm.
number, our diastolic, is when I tell people the letter D, think about it being dilated or open. That's when that heart is relaxed. So that
Mhm.
number should be low. It should not be in the three digits. And a lot of
Oh,
times, if that number's in the three digits, that's just letting us know, hey, when our heart is relaxed, we're pushing against a force, which is not a good thing. So we got to try to ease that up. That's too much pressure on the vessels.
okay. And so I'm so glad now. Look, you're teaching me something, and now I can go to the doctor and hear the number and actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay. So what
I
is
fuss at
considered high
doctors.
blood pressure then? Or is
Yeah,
it different for different people?
high blood. So textbook definition of typical good blood pressure is 120 over 80. So we can get down to the 110s or 105s, 108, something like that. That's still normal. But when you get down to the 90s, there's a problem. That means your low blood pressure will call hypotensive. Now,
Mm,
your high blood pressure borderline is around 130. So 130 to 140 is our borderline hypertension. Then above that, you have different stages. You have stage one, stage two, stage three. And
mm.
stage one is above 140. Stage two is above 160. Stage three is, hey, we got to fix this before we either have a stroke or a massive heart attack.
Oh
So
my
we never
goodness.
want to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me some early signs that educators may miss that there's maybe something going on in that space.
Early signs, honestly, would be having a headache. Yeah, headache will be one of your things. A lot of times we suffer from migraines, so headaches could be one.
Hmm.
Visual disturbances or having problems seeing. Because you have to think about it, as educators, we're constantly looking at our computers all day long. So
Mm-hmm.
that could be a contribute to that, a factor for that. But at the same time, not getting up and move. That's gonna be one of our biggest things. We're sedentary and everybody laugh at me. My students pick on me all the time because I stand up all day long. And when
You,
I sit down, they're like, you look weird. I'm like, why?
yeah.
You're sitting down. I'm like, "No." It's like my feet hurt. I gotta sit down. But
Mm-hmm.
just the headaches, the visual disturbances,
Hmm.
being sluggish, not feeling well, or what people say, just don't, you just feel funny. Those are some
Okay.
early warning signs. You can have like heart palpitations, something of that nature. There's a whole list of them, but honestly, at the beginning is more or less your headaches and just being sedentary. Let's see, fluid in your legs or in your feet and hands. That could be another thing as
Mm.
well. So that's typical early signs of it.
Okay. So this is good to know. Just to kind of check in on yourself. And I'm glad that you said that we've got to get up as teachers, we got to get moving. Even my folks who work in the office of like, not everybody's in the classroom. Some people support the teachers in the classroom, but you can get in a habit of being in an office typing all day. So it is good for people to get up, get moving, walk around. If you have a little short lunch break or a little planning period, just get moving, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I definitely go with that. If you have a smartwatch or an Apple Watch, a lot of times they give you indication time to stand up. So you should be able to stand up for when it says time to stand up. You should be able to move around, drink plenty of fluids. Let me back up. Not plenty of fluids, drink plenty of water. Because people are like,
Okay.
well, fluids, what do you mean by that? So I had to be specific.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
So
that Coca-Cola, but not
see,
that.
yeah,
That's not what you're talking about.
no, no water. You have to actually put water in the system. One thing, and the thing about high blood pressure is we have something called a teacher bladder. I know we're getting off topic, but we have a teacher bladder
Mm-hmm.
where we drink fluids and we hold it all day long. And it's like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get a habit of drinking more water and actually taking those restroom breaks. And it's
Breaks.
easier said than done. At the high school level, maybe a little more easier than it is at the middle school, and definitely easier than at the elementary level. But you got to think about yourself when it comes to it.
You're right, because it's our health, and we want to be good for our students and ourselves, and we've got to take care of ourselves to do that.
Yes.
So let's talk about stress in the body. Um, So, when we talk about it, what is chronic stress actually doing inside the body? And just think about the life of a teacher and how chronic stress can show up. I know one thing that a lot of schools are going through right now is testing season. So, what
Yes.
does that chronic stress look like for an educator? And what kind of happens to the body when you have that?
Yeah, testing season. Everybody knows testing season. April, May, March,
Mm-hmm.
April, May is your hot spots for testing season. And it's numbers, numbers, numbers. Hey, we have to hit these numbers. These students are not performing. We have to hit it. So
Yeah.
we're putting our body in what we call that fight or flight method. But at the
Yep.
same time, it's more we're fighting for our life. That's literally
Mm.
what it is. You're constantly thinking about how can I improve these scores? What did I do this right? And that's where the stress comes into play. So you're not really worried about your body. You're more focused on how can we improve these scores. So I hate to say it, so admin can get off your back, and that's where it
Mhm.
comes from. So it's when it comes to that, that's one of the things that relates back to high blood pressure because you're under such of a stress that you raise that blood pressure, and then if you're getting sleepy, you drink that Coke like you said, or something with
Mhm.
caffeine in it. It elevates the blood pressure and increases the heart rate. So you're putting more stress on that body. So your body's in a constant or a chronic fight mode. It's not in a flight mode because you're not running away. It's in a fight mode. You're fighting for survival that entire time.
I'm glad you broke that down like that, that you're in a fight mode because you're fighting for your body. So, and this is probably even more true for educators in high need schools, right?
Yes.
Who are often dealing with chronic behavior issues, just lack of resources, all of the things. What does that constant fight or flight, high stress do to your body if you are constantly in that long term and you're not finding ways to kind of heal, settle yourself and reduce the stress? What will happen long term? What are some things that could happen?
Long term, just like we say, the high blood pressure, you're looking at strokes, you're looking at constantly being sick. That's our biggest thing is constantly being sick, constantly
Mhm.
being fatigued, loss of appetite, and just excessive tiredness. That's the biggest thing.
Mhm.
You're just tired all the time. And for that, we're saying, hey, so we're fighting all day long. We're fighting with test scores, we're fighting with students, we're fighting with parents. We're literally in a fight for our life during the
Mhm.
day. Then when you get home, it's like, I'm tired. And if you have a
Exhausting.
family, there is no rest when it comes to that
Mhm.
as well. You're fighting the whole time. And then when it's time to sleep, you can't sleep because you have so much on your mind.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
you're getting sick. That's literally what it is. You're getting sick all the time. You weaken
Yeah.
that immune system because we need to understand when our body is resting is when the body actually heals. But
Hmm.
if we're not resting, again, they say textbook wise, yes, 8 hours of sleep. Realistically, in the real world, we're not going to get 8 hours of sleep. I
Hmm.
know it sounds good. Even me in the military and when I work at EMS, I'm not going to get 8 hours of sleep.
No.
According to the paperwork, yes, I get 8 hours of sleep. 4 or 5 hours, that's about that's average what we get as working adults. That's what we're going to get. And if you have family on top of that, and if you have kids in there in sports, you have less time as well. So
Hmm.
you're just breaking down. There's no rest. So your body's going to constantly get sick. It can start off as a simple cold, then
Hmm.
it'll go away. Next thing you know, you're running a temperature. then that may go away or it may elevate to something else. In the wintertime, you have a lot of walking pneumonia. I hate to say it. That's your
Mm-hmm.
cold and flu season. And teachers do not want to miss because they know we got winter break coming up, or we have
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, or even have Christmas coming up. So we're trying not to miss. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
you got to do something for yourself. Hey,
Yeah,
they're replacing. I hate to say it, in education, you'll be replaced. You're gone today, they have somebody in there tomorrow. You have to
you're
take
right.
care of yourself.
You have to take care of yourself. And I'm glad you pointed out that we're just not getting the sleep that we need. I did an episode, I think it was this season, with the sleep specialist. And you know what? The funny thing is, I was on Instagram and I think it was talking about the last time I got 8 hours of sleep, and it was like a little meme, and it was like
Mhm.
being a baby. Okay, it's like the
Yep.
last time we got some real good sleep was when we're babies. Okay. And so I know we're not getting the 8 hours, but you try to do the best you can to get close to it. I'm right now having an issue with like my neck and when I'm sleeping. So I'm trying all these different pillows out and trying to do different elevations with my bed, but it's disrupting my sleep. And I know how
Mhm.
important it is to get sleep and how that impacts the body. And you know, something else you said was about um, when you're in that constant fight mode, it does show up as you are being tired. And I'll never forget when I worked at a different school district, my fight or flight was because I worked so long, so far. It was an
Mhm.
hour and a half drive going and an hour and a
Yes.
half drive coming back. And it was in Atlanta traffic. And so that was fight. I was fighting for my life.
Yes.
Okay.
That traffic alone.
I
Woo.
was fighting for my life to get home, and I was always tired in the car, literally sometimes falling asleep, Eric,
Yes.
sitting in the traffic, right?
Mhm.
And so I now what you saying these things, I'm like, that was probably stress and trauma. My body was just exhausted from working 8 hours as a teacher, then getting in that traffic like that. Because I
Right.
don't have that issue now, but I only have a 5 minute commute. So I think, you know, that is true. When your body is in that constant fight mode, it does show up as you're tired.
Yes. Mhm.
So what do you think about mindful breathing and things like that? I am working with some new teachers and we've explored mindful breathing as a stress reduction strategy. So from a
Mhm.
medical standpoint, can slow breathing actually lower your blood pressure? And can this really help teachers?
Yes. So when it comes to that, you're relaxing. So I tell people, and everybody laughs at me, if you come to my classroom during planning, my lights are off.
Yeah.
I'm not sleep per se, but I'm in a deep meditation. And I
Yes.
may snore every once in a while, but I'm in a deep meditation. But in all honesty, yes. So you have that deep breathing. It helps slow the heart rate down. As it helps slow the heart rate down, it brings your cortisol levels down, bring the stress levels down. But in addition to that, your body is more relaxed. And having that body's more being more relaxed, that blood pressure is coming down. And I tell people, do it. There's so many free apps out there for that. So download one of them and see if that one works. And that's the one that works for you. Just use that one. We can't stress enough. You have to find time for yourself.
You
Nobody
do.
else cares about you. I hate to say it like that.
Yeah.
In the education, you're I won't say you're on your own, but like we said before, you're fighting for your life. So you have to find time for yourself so you can be present for your family.
Yeah, that's true. And so with this meditation piece, I would love, you know, my whole goal is to hopefully see all of our schools, especially our schools that are high needs, low income, have
Mhm.
space for teachers to practice mindful breathing, give them tools. In the new teacher training, new teacher orientation, this should be part of it, some type of mindful this activity so that they can get through their day. So for my listeners, just 2 minutes, you know what, even 1 minute, just 1 minute of deep breathing on that planning period when you pull up to school and right before the kiddos get there, just take some time for yourself just to collect yourself and just establish that habit. I think it's
Yes,
important.
you have to. You have to. Some of my coworkers pick on me. My students, I love them to death.
Mm-hmm.
but they're so needy at times. And I have my own kids. And it's
Yeah.
like, how do I get away? I will go to the bathroom and just be there.
Yes.
Unfortunately, at home, you see fingers sticking underneath the door and like,
Yeah.
Daddy, where you at? What are you doing? It's like, oh my goodness, just give me 5 minutes, leave me alone, please. But
Yes.
yeah, if you just got to get away from, I hate to say, from everything. One thing
Yeah.
I like about our school is we actually have a Zen room. So you can
Oh.
actually go up there and
Mm-hmm.
relax. It's nice, soft music playing. You got a little bit of the water flowing going on. So it's going up there and it helps relax you. So you have to find something like that. If you don't have one at your school, if you can try to create one in your room or your office, that'd be
Space.
good. That
Mm-hmm.
way, try to relax. You have to relax, especially
Yeah.
between transition when these kids coming in. And if they come in, if you're elementary, they come in after your after PE or something of that nature, or even lunch, you know they're on 10. So you
Yeah.
want to breathe before they come in, try to
Come
relax
in.
as
You're
much as you
ready.
can before they come in.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the Zen room. I love it when schools create spaces for their teachers to support mental wellness. So
Mhm.
with that, what can school systems do to support educators' heart health? What are some things that you think if you had one request right now, what would it be?
For me, honestly, it's on teacher planning days. At least pull out 2 to 3 hours where we can actually participate if we're allowed to participate in yoga or a
Mm,
Zen room or something of that nature. Just give us a little bit of time because admin, we love y'all. We love
mhm.
y'all.
Yes.
But some of y'all forget what it was like in the classroom, and we
Hmm.
just need some time. If it's just can we work on our grades or just the fellowship? A lot of times they put us in these groups. We y'all need to talk about this, but for an aspect, it's like, hey, we have certain people we like to hang with because we can chill with them and pick on them and laugh, and that's our family, and that helps relax us. But you putting us
That is
in
true.
groups, if we don't click with them, you're increasing our stress. So let us work together with our groups. I hate to say
Yeah.
in high school, everybody has their cliques. We understand that, but at the same time, let us work with our people just so we can
Yeah.
relax. Just allow us some time. Y'all allow your kids to have time. Allow us to have some
Have
downtime.
some time. Yeah, that definitely will reduce stress when you're with your people.
Mhm.
Um, so we're gonna end it with some rapid fire questions. This is the first time on everything but the lesson plan that we've done rapid fire. We're going to end the season with rapid fire, and our season 11, we're going to continue with the rapid fire questions. And what this is, I'm going to ask Eric a question, and he is going to quickly give me his answer. Okay,
Uh-oh,
you
here we
ready?
go.
What number should teachers know?
Blood pressure.
Their blood pressure number.
Yep. Blood pressure
Very
is going to be your
important.
biggest thing. Yep.
Okay. What's one myth about blood pressure?
That one myth about blood pressure would be if you have low blood pressure, you're still doing good, which is not true.
That's good. That's good. What age should adults start monitoring regularly?
When you get a real job, I'm just gonna be serious. When you get a real job, because you know how it is growing up. We want to be adults, we want to be adults. Now we're adults. It's like I should have stayed in the kid's place. So
Yeah.
when you get that real job and you're stressed, it can vary anywhere from 21 because you're deemed an adult then. I know 18 is adult, but you're still in high school. But
Mm-hmm.
21 up. Know your numbers. Know your numbers
Okay.
early. If you have a family history of high blood pressure, diabetes, or something of that nature, know your numbers because it could sneak up on you.
Yeah. Right. So great conversation today. Is there anything you want our listeners to know or how to get in touch with you? Just let me know.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel. It's Whiteside Tactical Solutions, Whiteside Tactical Solutions Med Inc. We
Mm-hmm.
drop a lot of stuff. We actually have a topic about this as well, where I'm the moderator. So on this side is different. So I'm
Yeah.
usually the moderator. You have my brother, he's internal medicine, and you have our best friend, Dr. Coy. He's holistic medicine. So seeing holistic medicine going against modern medicine, I love the clash, but we work together. I love seeing that. So you have two different aspects of it and we enjoy that. So we get you get the perspective from two different views, But at the same time, you get a lot of free medical information, and people need to capitalize on that. No, talk to your
Yeah,
doctor. If you have a doctor's appointment, ask your doctor's questions. Their job is to answer questions.
that's
You may
right.
think, oh, they come in, they talk to me, they get to do whatever, then they leave. Nah, you're paying for their time.
That's
Ask
right.
them questions. And if they can't answer those questions, find another doctor. I
Mm-hmm.
say it like that. Fire them. Like if you don't like a lawyer, you get rid of them, find another lawyer. Same thing with
Mm-hmm.
a doctor. Ask them because this is your health. You're
It
not just
is.
a number. You're a human. So they should put the human aspect in it and talk to you and get to know you. If you have a
Yeah.
question about blood pressure, hey doc, I understand my blood pressure is 160 over 101. What does that mean? What can I do? They may
Mm-hmm.
refer you to a nutrition or a dietitian, but at the same time, ask those questions. We always fuss at our students. You need to advocate for your information, for your education. You all as educators, or we as educators, we have to advocate for our health. We can't
We
be afraid
do.
to ask questions.
You're right. You're right. This was been a really good conversation, Eric. I've learned a lot. Now I know what to do when I go for my next checkup and when she calls those numbers out. I gotta increase my water intake. Oh,
Yep.
but I'm gonna do it. And I got to get my sleep together. So those are kind of the steps, educators, that you've got to take. Know your numbers, reduce that sodium, get moving. Now that's one thing I do. I'm gonna exercise every single day. I take one
Mm-hmm.
day off a week, but I will. I love moving because I know how important that is. So I do
Yes.
thank you for this.
Thank you for having me. I had so
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah, this is great. So, for my listeners, I just want to read this disclaimer. This episode is for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. If you have concerns about your blood pressure or overall health, please consult with a licensed healthcare provider. Do not make medical decisions based solely on this conversation today. And in closing, teachers, you show up for everyone. And Eric told us that today, right? But your heart is carrying more than the lesson plans. Silent stress is still stress, and the numbers don't lie. Let this episode be your reminder. Your health is not optional. Thank you, Eric, for joining the show, and everyone keep on thriving.
Thank you so much.